Hello, it's Andrew at Unlimited Singing Bowls and Gongs Unlimited, and we're doing another one of our hopefully helpful healings for all you sound healers, sound therapists, yogis out there. And today we're going to do just an example chakra healing. We're probably going to do one here on Gabby and then one on one of our other employees here. And we're just going to clean out one chakra today. You know, to be clear, you have many, many chakras in your body. We're aware of the main 7. We talk about those a lot in the New Age wellness world, but I can tell you right now, there are 5 above outside of your physical body, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then if you look inside your body too, you're going to see more. You got things like hand chakras and finger chakras and different chakras around different places, and the smaller ones called nadis, which are like more of a collection of different energy nerve center things. Oh man, you're like a well-lit, illuminated Christmas block of lights. You're like the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation of lights inside of you, if you really wanted to look at it. And that's neat. Don't you think? I think so. Now, the interesting thing, I am going to put this public service announcement out there, my gift to people who have watched the internet, looked at the internet, typed in chakras and seen something like this, like a very colorful, and I'm going to hold my hand out here. Maybe I'll hold my hand up here, and hopefully the video people will put all these beautiful colored displays of this is your 7 chakras, and these are the colors that they are. And let me just tell you that that is very pretty on the internet, but not as anyone who is clairvoyant will see it, not as the way the ancient Hindu mystics who maybe got involved with the Bhagavad Gita or anyone really actually sees chakras. And if you really spend some time looking at chakras, and frankly, I don't spend enough time looking at chakras. I wish I looked at them more because I like to learn so many things about them. You're going to see that it's not just one color, and that color isn't it, even though it's like so pretty. But it's not. Chakras, here's the fascinating thing about chakras, and this is going to be our basic thing in here. Chakras are energy centers where you as a spirit plug in, through the body, and all the stuff you're trying to create goes through. And there's like, if I want to get into like 12 layers in a chakra, and each of those layers have 12 layers, like 144 layers in a chakra. And we're not going to look at all of them and whatever. And half the time, I'd say more than half the time, most of the time, if I look at someone's chakra, it takes me even a little bit of time to find their color because it's got all sorts of other stuff. Like people are courting you, plugging into you, people are throwing energy. You've got a piece of energy you picked up, you healed out of someone. So you got like, your chakra looks like, if you ever painted with acrylics or oils and you start mixing too many things, it starts to look gray or brown in certain sections. Now, or they could have other colors on yours. So what we're going to do today, because Gabby so delightfully allows us to give her a healing, and I was talking to the various guys, and we're going to clean out Gabby's 5th chakra, throat chakra if you like, a little bit, and just kind of see what's there. And I'm going to just do it simply with using a little bit of energy and attention and awareness, and this singing bowl, one of our infinite chakra. Oddly enough, using a chakra bowl to heal a chakra. Not that this is tuned, there's a whole other story about notes of the chakras. We're not doing that. So we're going to take a look. Gabby, your 5th chakra, and the first thing I'm just going to kind of say is I'm going to hit it just a little bit to kind of vibe it out. Now, the first thing I notice is Gabby has a spirit plugged into her 5th chakra, and that spirit kind of like she uses it to try to make people happy, to make people laugh a little bit, be a little goofy, which is great. We all like to do that. I in fact have a matching energy right now I'm releasing, but it's not her. It's in her chakra. But if I was looking at the color of that being in her chakra, it's kind of black and gray because it's telling her, you need me. You can't make people funny by yourself. You have to have this goofy spirit in there. Great thing about spirits is they're not all light and love. Sometimes they're just annoying pain in the butts. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of set her vibe. So I'm going to try to set this so that Gabby notices the difference. There, she's starting to become aware, like, oh yeah, this one's been kind of a pain in the butt. It's funny, but it sometimes makes me get a little goofy. So I'm going to kind of hook this spirit for right now up to God, and just let it get taken out. They're going to take it out for you for a little bit, Gabby, just so you can know what it's like to be different. And then when I look at the back, she has a lot of white energy in the front and the back of this fifth chakra. Where's that pretty picture they told me about? How could it be white in her fifth chakra? Well, the white has to do where she felt invalidated as a child, grown up. And there's a white kind of like, people don't understand me or they don't like me. I want to be funny and make people happy. And that's what the spirit was sitting on. So now as I start to say hello to that, and I go, Gabby, come on down and look at that. And she's starting to go, oh yeah. And she's kind of letting it ease out and it's kind of dripping out. It's kind of pus coming out of her fifth chakra. It's kind of gross. And there, as that starts to release, there is a relief as it starts to relieve. I see a sort of a kind of a nice, pretty golden orange coming into her. And it's Gabby's golden orange. It isn't yours or mine. We might have a different color, and it's weird because I don't know if golden orange is what they say on that pretty chart, but it's her golden orange, and it's only coming into part of her chakra, sort of near the middle, and she's going, I'm okay to speak my own truth. I can be funny myself. So she's giving herself a healing, and you know what I'm doing? I'm just helping her find the vibration, and I'm just watching it. I'm not doing the healing. I'm just watching it by being aware. Now you might go, well, I can't see these things, Andrew. And that's okay. You can vibe it out though. You could just even do the premise of, you can do the intention of, okay, I'm going to help this person release something that's stuck in their space. That's all you got to do is I'm going to help them release it. That's all I'm doing. Now she's pointing out something now. She's going, you see this dark green muck on the bottom of my fifth chakra? I do see that dark green muck. And that has to do where she has a little bit of what I'd call a curse in her. Now, don't be like, dun 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 dun, a curse. Pretty much anyone, if you've lived enough lifetimes, is going to carry around a curse or two. You don't have to have just gone to Catholic school like Gabby to get a curse. And it's kind of a dark green, black muck. And she brought it with her from another lifetime, been carrying it around for a few lifetimes, and she's going, it kind of makes it difficult for her to create the kind of life she wants to create. Because when you're fifth chakra, there's oftentimes that energy is going down your arms into your hands to your creations. Like you get an idea and you're going to make it happen. You get an art idea, you're going to draw it, or a music idea, or just like, but those are obvious ones you use your hand. But even just like, I would like to change my life. I'd like a new boyfriend or girlfriend. I'd like a new house or whatever. That's all going to be kind of starting to happen through your hands and your arms. I remember once, many, many years ago, I was kind of just reading historical figures and how they create. I remember reading Mozart's, like, how did he create? How did he create? And it was fascinating because he was so plugged in to God and the divine force. He was just running gold energy down those arms all the time. Those things were always just so inspired because he was connected to the divine source, and it would just come down his arms and he would do it. And it was just a really, people always go, why do we remember him or whatever? Because he had such a high energy, a divine source. So Gabby's looking at this curse and she goes, blech. There's probably some swear words she could use in Spanish that I don't know. And they're starting to loosen it up. As she's saying hello to it, we're going to kind of bring down, you can do this too, is like ask God to come down and help remove this curse. And as he's doing, her Akashic record is coming down, Akashic record keeper's coming down. And it has something to do where you were, well, Gabby, what is it? You reap what you sow. Gabby once was a witch, put a curse on someone else, and then they put one back at you. That's the fun thing. Let's be clear about the fun thing about witchery. Witchery, which witch did it? Which witch did it? I don't know which witch, but they're putting curses on it, and that other one's putting the curse back on her, and they're putting this thing. Good, you got to laugh about this, because it's past time. You're not a witch this lifetime, at least that I know of. No bruja, no? No, she's not thinking about it. So as that's coming out, the forgiveness and the energy of grace is coming out, because quite honestly, God's saying that the person who put the curse on you has long forgiven the whole thing, but you were holding on to it like theirs. As that comes out, let's see what's going on with her chakra. That was like dark green and whatever. Oh, what's coming in is a brilliant blue, and the blue is freedom. It's freedom from that. And I'm going to see what she's doing. Here's the interesting, I was talking her arms. As I'm watching that, the freedom is going down her arms. That blue is going down her arms, and she's working on getting it through the hands. So I'm going to finish this up a little bit. I'm just going to ask for a nice, general, big, wholesale connection to her fifth chakra and healing. And an angel's coming down and kind of going, yeah, giving you a little healing there and cleaning out. There's sort of an energy of some past times of things she's done this lifetime. And the angel's kind of saying, speaking of communication, it's time for you to quietly, in your own way, if you want to get more healings, is to quietly, however you do it, ask God, pray to God. It may not be the same way you did in Catholic school, obviously. It'd be between you. But he goes, that's the communication that needs to happen, or you're going to keep kind of sitting in little piles of energy. And he goes, but with that, the grace will come down. Basically, God wants you to hear from you, and the grace will come down and help you. So you're not a bad person because you didn't fit in at Catholic school, as they say. And so that's coming down. They're giving you real healing, and her fifth chakra now is becoming very gold. That's a matching energy, excuse me. Very gold and orange and red. And there's a red, which is your personal strength. And you haven't really been tapping into your personal strength as much this lifetime. And they're going, it's time to do that too. So that was one chakra healing, and it was very similar. And I want everyone to notice, look how many different colors we did there. I'm sure the video guys will edit something cool in there. Look how many different colors happened to Gabby's fifth chakra there. Now, Gabby, what did you experience during that?
I'm kind of like surprised how spot on you are about a lot of things. There was a lot of, I did feel relief and
Feel really what?
relief.
Oh, relief.
Yeah. Because, again, you were very accurate with, well, almost everything pretty much, minus the witch.
Right, you're not thinking about being a bitch, not a bitch, a witch.
Witch.
A bitch or a witch. Some witches are bitches, not all.
But that was nice.
Good. Well, and the trick for you now is to kind of be aware of it and kind of watch it and see what happens. Okay? All right, thank you. We're going to be back in half a second with Ian. We're back with Ian. We're looking in a whole new direction now. I think this way. And we're going to look at, I'm seeing Ian, the chakra we're going to work on with Ian is your third chakra, Ian. Solar plexus. I don't know what color they call it on the internet, but he may have some of that color in there. This is not a denial of that color in there, but is it his color or not? So just for fun, the first thing I'm going to look at when I hit this is like just one color that's not Ian. First color I see there is kind of black, like the color of his shirt. It's just like a hopelessness or a despair. Oh, is the shirt funny? And that hopeless and despair energy in the third chakra has to do with somebody else's that he's picked up and kind of adopted as his own. I don't know if his mother or his family or just different people around there. I see you were surrounded by several people who carried around a certain degree of hopeless energy over the type of growing up. And you're well, that's just what life is. It's kind of hopeless. And we all do this, by the way. We all get kind of caught up in what the family we grew up or the people we're around, and it becomes like that's the vibe. I can tell when I'm talking to Ian right now, I have matching energy and I'm starting to release it. Because yeah, you can run into life and it's hopeless to some people. It's never going to change, you know? We're always going to have wars. I'm always going to be addicted to plantain chips, whatever it is. So as I'm starting to say hello to that to Ian, Ian's going, yeah, but if I get rid of that, then I might be happier. And I don't want my people around me to see me happy because they won't like that. If I'm a little bit more carefree, how do I hide my carefreeness? So as he's starting to say hello to that, it's becoming gray. I see gray is in that, and the gray is sort of an unconscious energy, which kind of said you could never get rid of the hopeless thing. That's what defined your family. Now, as I start to do this, I'm watching his third chakra. It's really starting to vibrate. It's like shaking when he's working on it. Because Ian's like, I want to have some fun. Oh, I swore. All right, I'm going to say that because Ian wants to go, oh, heck yeah, I want to have some fun. Sorry, sometimes I read it literally.
That would be my internal.
Yeah, exactly. There. And so God is smiling at you right now too, Ian, going, I want you to have some fun. You've done a very good job at matching the family stuff and being a good son and a good child. He goes, but it doesn't mean you have to match their energy. So I see the lightness coming down. There's an angel kind of coming down and kind of cleaning out Ian's third chakra of that thing. And it's not just there. This is the interesting thing. Let me tell you this. Chakras are not isolated things that have certain things. They're connected to other chakras and other parts. So where I see them working on what's now white energy, that goes up in front of your eyes. It says, don't see that you can have other ways to live. And it also goes through your arms. Maybe separate your hands if you could. Yeah, like that. So it makes it tight here. So there's a constriction. The third chakra, oftentimes, the third chakra is a lot about, kind of creating things in the world, with an emotional little boost and other stuff like that, and creating in the world and what you're doing. And so that involves all these other chakras. So if there's a big chunk of block there, it's going to have closed everything down. And they're really kind of just running compassion through there. They're kind of reminding you who you are as a spirit, which isn't someone who is hopeless. Yeah, and they're really just kind of running through this beautiful, graceful, kind of golden energy. Gold is getting, and as it's going through the chakra, I'm going to take a look at how it cleans out the chakra. Right? It goes in there, and it goes, this is the truth, because the spiritual level, they would say, bring it spirit into the mind, into the body. The spiritual level is the truth. The things that we experience in this world, we get caught up and think that they're truth, but they're really a lie. So what it's going is, it's like God's creative energy is kind of going, I am senior, I am smart, this is the right energy. The other stuff was just something you believed because you're incarnate. There, and it's really starting to tell me to play around here. Oh, I'm going to come to the front of the thing for a little bit. Play on this here too. Which is just, I'm just kind of using this because the healing's happening, just to kind of loosen up his thinking a little bit. There, and as that happens, woof, really your third chakra is really starting to, parts of it hadn't even been spinning. Chakra means spinning wheel. Parts of it not even spinning. So now it's starting to really catch up. And the others, they're pointing to me. When I do a healing, I just try to be aware and follow what the guidance is. They're kind of pointing to me your arms and your fifth chakra. So I'm started at the third chakra, but I'm going up to the fifth chakra because that's where they're going. And there's a vibration there of hopelessness too that's been keeping. So that we're really, this is a very hopeful healing because we're filling them up with hope and removing the lessness of it. Mm-hmm. And it's right in your fifth chakra. And this is someone when you were like 12 or 13 kind of mentioned to you, you were a loser, you weren't going to amount to anything. Somebody could have just been a kid in the hallway at school, nothing, but you took it. The reason why it stuck was because somewhere deep inside of you had taken something like, I see it goes back to your fourth chakra, where that's you, somewhere like you were like a little kid, like 4 or 5, like, oh, I'm in this family's always got the problems, or it's just not going to be, whatever you decided when you were 4 or 5. And you'd be surprised. You may think we're all dumb when you're 4 or 5, you don't think a lot, but as spirit, you're always aware. I remember once I had my father was not around that much. He was around, but he was not like someone to trust or be whatever. And I remember reading myself once, I was looking when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was like, oh, don't put a lot of faith in this guy. And I didn't, because I just knew I would be let down. And I still got caught up in it a couple of times. So even at 4 or 5, you're making choices. And so you were like made a choice about, this is the energy of the family, this is what it's going to be. And so when when you're 13 and goes, dude, you're a loser, you're not cool like me in 9th grade hallway, right? It's going to stick. But it's sticking to what was already there. They often say doing spiritual healing, psychic healing is like peeling off. Not peeing, it's not like urinating. There's nothing about psychic healing, well, it could be. But it's like peeling the layers of an onion. See, I always know when I'm a little off because I get Trevor, the camera guy, laughing. They say spiritual healing is like urinating. No, it's like peeling the layers of the onion. So if you see, we started with one layer, peel that off, then there's a next layer, and then, here's the other layer. And now I'm going to kind of let the angel of God kind of come in because they're going for that fourth. You made a judgment about yourself and the family at that point. That's what it's let some of this other stuff stick. So they're going to help you release that judgment. And that's the great thing about spiritual healing. There's no time or space. We're being affected by it now, but they just go back there and go, okay, great, we'll move it. It's not like you may have to do years of therapy to get to it, but it's like the spiritual healing. And they're really going, you're doing a great job, Ian. They said to tell you that because you're going for a nice chunk of something that's been bothering you and you didn't know what it was. Like you've been something off and I don't know why. And they go, this is a good half of it that they're getting. Now they're also saying, this is the fascinating thing, we're going to talk about small chakras. It's going also down to your knee and your feet chakras in there. Because they keep you from, we'll just say, taking the next steps. That same hopelessness to you from taking the next steps and going into like finding a different situation, or like, I'll use dumb examples because I don't want to get into Ian's personal. I'll be like, I really want to go to the water slide park today, but oh no, that's too fun. I won't have a good time, right? So you don't even, it's like it'll hit there and it'll hit your feet, so you won't even make the steps to go to the water slide park. That's what they call them, right? Water parks? Yeah. I get terrified going down big water slides, so I'm not trying to go there, but I'm using that as an example. Ooh, yeah, and your aura is really getting cleansed up. Let me see if there's any kind of left. Yeah, they've healed. Oh, so let me go back and now look at the chakras. When I look at that third chakra, it's now very green. And green for you is a sign of change. Shh, Gabby, shh. Green is a sign of change. And the fifth chakra is very blue-green. It's very male blue-green, and it's starting to work on the pain in your arms. And they go, that's something that's going to still be coming out over the next, like the spiritual pain in there. And then you go back down to the fourth chakra, and they go, congratulations, that's 90% gone. That energy that was like, give up with this family, or whatever it was. The pain of, this is what it's going to be, okay, And then, yeah, they go, you're really right. They're also saying you're really ripe for a transition. So in whatever way that you do to ask or plan or things like, if you have a vision board, or if you had I go out to the country and I do a special thing with dandelions and I ask for something, whatever, I'm just being silly, but whatever you do, and then if I, oh no, he does do something with dandelions, I don't know. Yeah, but you're ready to do this. So this is like the healing, but then you have to take the next energizing of it. So that was a chakra cleansing with Ian, which was really fun to do. And Ian, do you want to share anything that you noticed or experienced or felt or saw or did?
I actually really appreciated the, bringing up of those taking next steps and the fears of doing that, and kind of welcoming transition in life instead of being afraid or overly cautious to take steps. So that is very helpful and kind of where I have been at.
Yeah, and I'm, just to be clear, although they're my employees, I don't get that deep into their lives, because that would be crazy as a boss. It'd be too much for me. I mean, but so I'm just going with what I'm seeing, what I'm becoming aware of. Usually, by whatever I'm becoming aware of, is something they're ready to release. So, like when you're doing a healing like this, you're not going, I'm going to find this thing. You're kind of going, it's already deep because it's spiritual and it's something they're working on, like Ian or Gabby or anyone, and so that meant this is something you're already working on, mm-hmm. and I just was helping out mm-hmm. with the thing. So that's something, that's what you should validate both of yourselves. It's like, you're already doing this. I just said, I'm going to help this out here, mm-hmm. because people don't always realize that we get stuck on spiritual stuff. Like our mental thoughts are coming off the spiritual vibe. It's inside of us. So if someone's always like, I'm really depressed. Well, what is that spiritual chunk of energy that they believe, or that kind of stuff? Not saying we all have to walk around like goofy, those things that blow in the wind at car dealers, but yeah. We have enough of those in the wellness New Age community already. But there you go. I was really happy to share this with you. I hope you learned something. Maybe you can integrate it into your work. Trevor, did you have a good time? That's a positive thumbs up. Brennan, how did you do today? Thank you. All right. See you later.